I ain't never. Listen, baby, I ain't never met no one like you.
So as you guys may know, I've spent weeks building my app before work, after work, and even on the weekends, and I've yet to make $1 out of it. So I've spent countless hours trying to build this app. The main question that I want to answer is whether or not someone is willing to pay for this app. The reality is that a lot of people are submitting and building apps. In the recent WWDC, Apple was saying that over 1,000, apps are submitted to the App Store every hour. And that signals to me that the App Store is getting really bloated and populated with so many apps these days. I'm gonna put my desk on stand-up mode. But what I've learned from other app developers is that you don't have to recreate the wheel. If there's a proven idea out there that works and people are willing to use their app and buy the app, then you can also recreate another version of that. It's so much easier to get users with proven and successful apps. And that led me to build my Pomodoro Chrome extension for 2 reasons. The first reason is that people actually use the Pomodoro time management method to study and focus. And the second reason is that it's something that I resonate with because I use that throughout college, and that helped me, pass a class that I was very close to failing. Having that connection with the app I'm building is pretty important in whatever, you're trying to build. But the one thing that really differentiates, thousands of Pomodoro apps from one another is the theme. And so my theme is something that I've seen a lot of people really care about, and it is cherry blossoms. Once the spring season hits, I see tons of people, flocking towards cherry blossoms, trying to get a picture with them, or even traveling all the way to Japan to, experience that cherry blossom season over there. And so because of all this, the Pomodoro time management method is already a proven fact that people actually use it. And number 2, I'm pretty bullish on the fact that cherry blossoms will be a great theme and will resonate with other people. I'm still in the building phase. I think it's safe for me to share with you guys my database and see how it looks like on Supabase. So yeah, let me share that with you guys. So this is just one of my tables. It's the tree table, and it shows how many trees were actually bloomed in a session. And then this is actually the session table. These are all test data, so I think it's pretty safe to share all this with you guys. This is how the schema looks like, and I've already, done a few sessions to prove the fact that rows are being made and sessions are being completed. I think one of the neatest things when building apps is seeing your actual data being populated in the database and seeing all the rows being populated, all the values that you expect. It's definitely for me one of the rewarding things when building apps. But it's more rewarding when you actually see users, people you don't even know, start interacting with your app and filling up these rows. But again, I have yet to make $1 out of it. I'm still in the building phase. I did recently work on the monetization part of this app, so that's still in progress. But right now I have work to do, so I got to get online. As much as I want to quit my job and go all in building apps, I still haven't proven the fact that whatever I'm building is worth someone purchasing. It's been 3 months since moving out of my home state and into this new apartment living on my own. Now that a big chunk of money goes into my rent and bills, I really do now rely on each and every paycheck that comes in from work. The reality kicked in for me. The paycheck sustains the life that I have now, but the stuff I'm doing outside of work, like building this app, that's what I'm working towards for my future. Giving up the corporate cushion that was supposed to make me feel comfortable was the best decision I've made so far. And working in uncertainty, creating these apps, gave me a strange sense of freedom I really needed. I'm pretty slammed for work today. It's only me and this one other engineer that's available this week, and our team is already kind of small. So with me, my other engineer, and my manager, there's a lot of work between us that needs to be shared. I'm also on support rotation this week, so I'm answering questions that may come in to our support channel on Slack. I'm basically balancing, these support questions, my own work that I need to get done, as well as taking a look at another PR that's sent my way. Yeah, it's a lot of work. It's normally not like this, but with our, software update coming, a lot of people are just shipping in features and a lot of things break, and it's kind of a chaotic time during these times. Good thing is I have my coffee here to keep me company and focus for a little bit. And then I have like 5 or 6 sessions of Claude running on my work laptop. But with using Claude, you kind of have to understand, what it's telling you. That's the downside of using AI. It's telling you maybe what you want to hear. It might not be telling you what is actually going on. So that's just something that comes with using AI. Pretty excited for lunch. I'm already kind of hungry. I've come to terms that for me to quit my job, I don't necessarily need to make as much as I do now with my current job. I just need to make enough to sustain, my living situation. And I'm okay, scaling down my current, living situation. I might get 1 bedroom, 1 bath for a lot cheaper just to sustain my lifestyle. And I'm completely fine with that. If you explore X and Reddit like I do, there's so many solo developers out there who are creating apps, making a boatload of money just through these apps. It doesn't make too much sense to me. It's a whole world of, app development that opened my eyes and really led me to creating apps of my own as a way to sustain myself. Rather than having a job like this, giving me a paycheck and giving me an illusion that, things are stable when apparently things are not, when there are a bunch of layoffs happening and the growth of AI is increasing. The goal for me is actually building an app to cover my rent and eventually build more and more applications so that I can have different streams of income and not rely on, one app, and eventually get to the point where I feel comfortable, having this as my new kind of lifestyle in life. I know I've mentioned this before, but I've been really inspired by people who build apps while traveling the world. They're traveling to new countries, trying different foods, and meeting new people from completely different backgrounds. I think I resonate with all this because right now is probably the easiest it'll ever be for me to chase that. I'm in my early 20s, nothing really tying me down, no mortgage, no kids, no anchor to one place. But I know that window doesn't stay open forever, and so this is the best time to make big moves in this season of my life. In terms of building this app, my biggest challenge isn't building the app, it's finding the time to build the app while working a full-time job. And this has been a recurring theme for me. There have been many times where I just want to get things done, whether it's errands or things around the house, but sometimes it's hard to actually find time to fit in those things throughout the day. I'm pretty optimistic finding time to build my app because if I'm able to go to the gym almost every morning, then finding time in the day to build my app shouldn't be too hard because I'm already at home and I don't necessarily need to, go anywhere. But like I mentioned in my previous videos, I tend to work on my app in the evenings, but I am thinking of having a morning session as well after working out and taking a shower and doing all that. Right before work, I'm thinking of working on my app for about 45 minutes to an hour or so. It's not a whole bunch of time, but that adds up over weeks. I've yet to create a schedule, mark that on my calendar so that it's devoted time to focus on my app. I might spend this weekend doing that. It feels so nice just taking a break nowadays. I've been working my full-time job, creating apps, creating YouTube videos, and these small breaks are a nice way to break my day up in a way on this very sunny and hot day. Okay, so now I'm going to do my midday workout, and then Karen's stretching there. But I attribute most of my gains from just bodyweight exercises. It's underrated. If you don't have a gym or access to a gym, definitely recommend just working out with your body weight and seeing how far you can go with that. there's one thing that I'm most excited about working on my project is actually the marketing. There are a bunch of things I want to do. I want to create a landing page for the app. I also want to create like an onboarding process so the user kind of knows what's going on in the app. And lastly, posting on social medias like X, Reddit, and Instagram is pretty big. I was watching a few YouTube videos on how other solo developers create posts and create reels, and it's crazy to see they have like a whole game plan on how they're gonna ensure that their videos or their posts are going to go viral. And what I've learned the most from seeing how other solopreneurs do marketing is that they repeat the most successful reels and posts that they create. The most successful ones are the ones that are most predictable to increase engagement, and they just do it over and over to the point where they know that one of them is going to go viral at least once a month. For me, at least, it's kind of crazy to predict, that you're going to go viral every month. It's such a crazy and strategic strategy to have. And I feel like you really need to know what you're doing in order to, make sure that you're getting eyes on your videos. So that's why I'm pretty excited about this next step in marketing, because, I get a step away from all the technical stuff and I can actually focus on the more creative side. And that's the reason why I enjoy creating these YouTube videos. It allows me to kind of just think on the spot and creative freedom to essentially do whatever I want. For me, at least, these videos are more of a documentary of me showcasing my life and how I'm gonna eventually change in the future. So it's definitely gonna be good for me to look back on, to make progress. And if you guys don't know, Demetrius Johnson, he's a UFC fighter. One thing that he wished he really done in the past when he was like training and before he was ever a champion was he wished that he documented everything before he was a UFC champion so that he can look back and see how far he's come. I think that's what everyone should do nowadays. Just press record and document, what you've done, and it's cool to look back on, how far you've come. But yeah, for the rest of the evening, I was gonna work on this. I don't know if it's too bright. I want to change up the UI a little bit, so I've prompted Claude to figure out some ways I can improve the UI. So what I realized when first building this app was that it was a little bit too pink. And so I prompted Claude to try to reduce the pink because I want it to be a little bit more neutral. I also want to improve the design system. So everything from the font, the color, the backdrop, all of that stuff. I want it to be consistent, and I don't want the UI to be too different from, one page to another. So it's just gonna be working on this for the rest of the evening. I hope you learned something. It's still gonna be a long journey from here. I'll keep you guys updated, and I'll see you in the next video.
Listen, I know. Listen, baby, I know.